Hi, I'm Paul Stormbreaker, and this is Ballin' on a Budget. So, you want a race car, but you don't have that much money. Guess what? Neither do I. I'm broke. So, you have a few options, honestly. You could go front wheel drive route if you want a daily year round and you live in a little snowy climate. Examples of that would be Volkswagen TDI, turbo diesel, lots of torque, good gas mileage if you're out of the throttle. Civic Si, legendary reliability, VTEC, yo. And you're not gonna get any girls with that, but it's all good. Or you could go rear wheel drive like the big ballers, get a cheap Miata, those don't exist anymore, or a clapped out Nissan Z, Datsun Z, whatever your taste is. This is a 1986 300ZX Z31. Why did I choose this build? It's $1,300. I paid $1,300 for running and driving units with relatively low rust, and it's got a short wheelbase. These had a 2+0 and a 2+2 short wheelbase, long wheelbase models. I picked the short wheelbase. It's got T-tops for Aura. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's got a 5-speed manual gearbox, pretty reliable, thankfully. It's a non-turbo, so even more reliable. And it looks great. It's 80s peak styling. So from start to finish, we're gonna turn this into a clapped out car, into a clapped out race car. And you're gonna be along for the ride. Tips on how to find that perfect track car. First of all, look for indications the seller is willing to negotiate. Things like OBO, or best offer. Things like price negotiable. Things like need to get rid of quickly, mean you can get a better deal than what the advertised price is. There's a difference between listing price and selling price, and you have the ability to get that down to where you want to pay. Because we all know cars, when you buy them, usually aren't where they need to be to thrash around the track. My car isn't that way. And so there are things you need to take into consideration when you're buying that car. Another thing you want to take into consideration, does it have a clean title? Clean title is always preferred, because if there are any accidents, which means the title is salvaged or rebuilt, that is going to hurt the integrity of the car's body. It's not going to handle as well. The body roll is going to be different. There might be things that are a little off when you're thrashing the car around that would be different if the car had a clean title with no accidents. Very, very, very important. Another thing to look out for is, does the car run and drive? Take this advice if you will. Do not buy a car that does not run or drive when you have a lot of money in your hand and you're going to buy it, because you don't know what you're getting into. That thing could have rod knock without you knowing about it. That thing the wiring harness could be all chewed up. You don't know. Make sure it runs and it drives when you're giving that owner your fat stack of cash, because if not, you don't know what you're getting yourself into, and then it's just all downhill from there. That is one of the quickest ways for a project car to turn from a project car into someone else's nightmare. But you're not telling them that, because like buyer beware type, you know what I mean? Those, and then also we're gonna talk now about our good old friend rust. Now, if you're in a southern state, disregard this next segment, but if you're in the Midwest like me, or you're in a northern state, listen up, because last thing you want is to be stuck with a rusty piece of shit. I'll show you what I mean. Go underneath here. This is rust. You probably know it well if you've seen it. If you don't, well, this is rust. This isn't too bad. This is on the outside. I need to tighten that down. It's all good. But what you're looking for is structural rust. See, this, pretty solid. This is going to be the main frame of this here vehicle. It's pretty solid. It's a little banged up, but then again, aren't we all? You're looking for areas that are prone to rust to start with. You can see it's starting to develop here. That's because when snow, sleet, ice, whatever, likes to hang out right here in this area, places where it can sit and just fester that rust. You can see a little bit here, it's starting to spot a little bit. This isn't too bad. This is not structural rust, thankfully. So we're gonna be able to thrash this around pretty good. But if you find a car that's got some pretty bad signs of rust, oh no, oh no, do not buy it. There's always a good deal. There's always a good deal. If you're looking at a car with rust that's pretty freaking bad, it's not a good deal. Move on. Save your money for something that's worthwhile, because what rust is basically metallic rot. It's like wood rotting over time, right? But metal rotting. So yes, it's progressive weight reduction, but what it also is progressive structural integrity disappearance. Because if you're thrashing that car around and it's got rust, you're like, oh man, it feels a little squishy. You don't want a car to feel squishy when you're thrashing it around. Don't buy the car with rust, even if it's a good deal. I will kind of go over to a few tools you'll need to start off with. I'll show you tools that I'm using as the series progresses, but what I have here is a creeper. This is all Harbor Freight specialty. If you are starting out with a car, just go to Harbor Freight. They have the best deals. Pittsburgh, Harbor Freight brand. Creeper, oh man. Then we got the Daytona heavy duty jack stands. A little overkill for this, but better be safe than sorry. And then you always, if you have a jack, which you need, this is a low profile, I believe a 3-ton, really good for obviously low profile vehicles that are low like this one. You're gonna need this 110%, but the best tool that's not jack stands or creeper is my little buddy right over here. This is a factory service manual for a 1985 300ZX Nissan. Factory service manual. If you can't find something like this, we should be able to find something like this. eBay is your best friend, online obviously. And if you can't find one of those, a Haynes or a Klein's manual for your vehicle will also suffice. You want to look for these things. This is your factory lifting, towing, and tie-down points, so I knew where to jack the car up, because at the end of the day, if you're not safe with what you're doing, what the point is building a race car if you're just going to underneath of it when you didn't follow the right safety precautions? It's not worth it. Be safe, everyone. I will wrap up today's video with the following. So, you still want a race car? Fantastic. Hopefully this video has been good tips on how to select that first car. A couple more things to note. Pick a car with a strong aftermarket support. You want to modify your car, obviously. You're gonna wanna just buy the part online, ship it to your door, and install it when it gets there. Pick a car that has those parts available. Do not pick a rare car that those parts aren't available for. Check suspension kits, brake kits, power modifications, stuff like that, to see if the car that you want has those. It's very important that you do so. Trust me, I've bought that rare car and I couldn't do it, so I had to choose something else. Another thing to note, if possible, see if there's any local communities that can help you when you might need it. It's very helpful to do so, because you might need a little bit of help every now and then. Everybody needs it, right? So to recap, pick a car preferably with a clean title, little to no accidents. Pick a car that's in or below your budget, because you're gonna have to repair and maintain it before you start thrashing it on the track. Pick a car with zero structural rust. Very important. I don't care how good the deal is, there's always good deals. Do not pick a car with rust, because it's unsafe to drive a car with rust, especially when you're taking high G corners, you're going fast, you're whipping it around, all that fun stuff. You don't want your structure to be compromised. Very, very important. And last thing, have fun. At the end of the day, if you're not having fun while you're doing this, there's no point. So you're gonna get frustrated, but if you're having more fun then you are getting frustrated. You will continue to enjoy what you're doing. And yeah, this has been Ballin' on a Budget, Paul Stonebreaker, brought to you by Loser King Media, and we will see y'all in the next episode.